Hello students, today we will study about Introduction to Classes and Objects. The classes are the most important feature of C++ that leads to object-oriented programming. Class is a user-defined data type which holds its own data members and member functions which can be accessed and used by creating an instance of that class. The variables inside the class definition are called as data members and the functions are called as the member functions. Class name must start with an uppercase letter. If the class name is made of more than one word, then the first letter of each word must be in the uppercase. Example, you can see class study or class study tonight, etc. Classes contain data members and member functions, and the access of these data members and variables depend on the access specifiers, which will be discussed in the next section. The class's member functions can be defined inside the class definition and outside the class definition. The class in C++ are similar to the structures that you have studied in C, the only difference being the class defaults to private access control, whereas structure defaults to public access control. All the features of the OOPs resolve around the classes in C++, inheritance, encapsulation, and abstraction. Objects of class hold separate copies of the data members, and we can create as many objects of the class as we need. The number of objects are not restricted. We can make any number of objects of a particular class. Classes do possess more characteristics, like we can create some abstract class, we can create some immutable classes, and all these we'll study later. Now we come to access control in the class. A class can be accessed in how many ways that we will see. Let's first quickly learn what are access specifiers. There are three types of access specifiers which are used in C++, namely public, private, and protected. These access specifiers are used to set boundaries of availability of the members of the class, be it any data member or any member function. Access specifiers in the program are followed by a colon. You can use either 1, 2, or all the three specifiers in the same class to set different boundaries for different class members. They change the boundary for all the declarations that follow them. Let us see the public class specifier. Public means that all the class members which are declared under the public will be available to everyone. The data members and the member functions declared public can be accessed by other classes also. Hence, there are chances that they might change them. So, the key members must not be declared as public. You can see the example, class public access. First, we have used the access specifier public, then we have given the data member declaration, that is intx, and then we have given the declaration of the member function, which is void display. In this, it shows that in that intx, that is the data member and the member function are public in nature and they can be used by anyone in the entire program. The next access specifier is private. Private keyword means that no one can access the class members which are declared private and outside that class. If someone tries to access the private member, they will get a compile time error. By default, class variables and member functions are private. You can see the example, class private access. Private, we have specified the access specifier private for the data members, that is intx, and for the member function, that is void display. This example shows that the member function, display, and the data member x both are private in nature and they cannot be accessed outside the class. The third access specifier is protected. Protected is the last access specifier and it is similar to private, but it makes the class member inaccessible outside the class. But they can be accessed by any subclass of that class. If class A is inherited by class B, then class B is a subclass of class A. This is the thing that we will study in inheritance. So class, we have the example, class protected access. Protected, we have given the access specifier as protected. Then it shows that the data member, that is X, and the member function, that is display, both are protected in nature and they can be accessed by the subclass of this class, which is the name of the class is protected access. They can be accessed by the subclass of this class, but they cannot be accessed any class which is not the subclass or any class from outside. They cannot access this data member X and the member function display. Next, we study about constructors. What are constructors? Constructors are also some special class functions which perform initialization of every object that is used. The compiler calls the constructor whenever an object is created. Constructors initialize the values to object members after storage is allocated to the object. The example you can see, class, there is a class named A. It has X as the integer and then the constructor is called, that is A. The name of the constructor is the same as the name of the class. Now, while defining a constructor, you must remember that the name of the constructor will be the same as the name of the class and the constructors can never have any return type. Here we are seeing that when the constructor is called, then that particular class is initialized. It means that the data members which are there in the class are initialized. Constructors can be defined either inside the class definition or they can be outside the class definition using the class name and the scope resolution, that is 2 colons operator. Class A, integer I, then public it is declared, that constructor is declared, A is written, that means, and A is a constructor. It is the name of the constructor is same as that of the class, so we can easily identify that this is the constructor and not any other function, because constructor is also a special function, and so that is why it is a special function with the name of the class, so we can identify that this is the constructor only. Now see here, constructor is declared inside the class. Then in the you can see A, scope resolution A, this is the constructor definition, that I equals to 1. Here what is happening, the data members which are there in the class, they are being initialized. Here we see that I is there in the class, so I is being initialized to 1. There are 3 types of constructors: default constructor, parameterized constructor, and copy constructor. Default constructor is a constructor which does not take any argument. It has no parameter. Class name, constructor definition. Now see example, we can see there is a class Q. Then we have we have one variable inside. Then there is public Q, side equals to 10. And then integer main, we have called the Q, that is the constructor, and we have given the print cout c dot side. In this case, the output is 10 because as soon as the object is created, the constructor is called, which initializes its data members. A default constructor is so important for initialization of object members that even if we do not define a constructor explicitly, the compiler will provide a default copy of the constructor. In this example, you can see this is a default constructor. Next, we have the parameterized constructor. In this, the constructor contains some parameter. You can see here the class Q, public, integer side, cube int x, size equals to x. Then in integer main, we can see that some parameter is being passed when the constructor is initialized. So the output is 10, 20 and 30.